Okay, so this one's a little different. So you have 3x to the third plus 6x squared minus 18x. What is the biggest common factor between all three of them? 3x, right? So if I pull out a 3x, this term I'd be left with x squared, because I divide, plus 2x minus 6, right? Okay, and now we've already done the middle part. So what factors of negative 6 can I use to get a positive 2?
3 at negative 3 at thinking.
So I'm thinking of factors of negative 6 that will give me a sum of 2. What?
The one has to be a negative.
So 2 and 3, is that going to work? No. So then what else would work?
1 is
Has to be. Wait, hold on. I think I'm right. I got it.
there's only
It don't work.
It doesn't work.
What did we do wrong here? Well, for that parentheses more, you would factor it. But since there's none of them that work, then it's just factored all the way out.
We did
Miss
it.
Russell, your voice just kept getting higher and higher. I
I
didn't
got a little worried. I was doing something wrong here.
So we
Okay.
can just put that.
So our answer would just be what we have here, the 3 and x parentheses x squared plus 2x minus 6, because that can't be factored anymore.
Who's sick in algebra?
Nobody.
Why are you videotaping it?
Because when kids go to homework hour, they can watch the videos if they need help with it, and teachers can help the kids after they watch the videos.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna get her YouTube class too.
Yeah. Okay, so on B, we have 7x to the fourth minus 28x squared. What's the greatest common factor?
7x squared.
7x squared. So here I'd be left with
X squared.
x squared minus
4.
just 4, because I got rid of that x squared, right? Okay, now this is the one. Can I factor inside the parentheses more?
You can do a root.
Yes, what rule can I use, Brock?
You can,
Squiggle.
yes, square root.
The square root. So I would take the square root of both of them.
X.
So x minus, the square root of 4 is 2, and then the other one would be x plus.
You have to bring the 7 down.
And then, yes, you bring down the 7x squared. So that would be your full answer. Okay, are we good with that?
Yes.
Okay, so then the next example is it's just one step further. This time we have to solve. So I don't know if we really talked about when the directions say factor, it wants parentheses. When the answer says solve, it actually wants to know what x equals. So that's when you have to set it equal to what?
0.
0. Okay, so this one says to solve. So what do I need to get equal to? 0. So I'm going to subtract 10x. So I'm going to rewrite it though so that I have in standard form. So what would I write?
2x plus 8x squared minus 10x.
8x squared minus 10x.
Equals what?
0.
Okay, what's the greatest common factor here?
2.
2
X.
x. Okay, so then I would have what left on the first one?
X squared plus 4x minus 5.
Good, because we divided everything by 2x. And that still equals what? 0. Can I still factor inside this parentheses?
Yeah.
Yeah, what would I use?
Negative 1 and 5.
Negative 1 and 5. So we would have 2x, because we have to bring that down, parentheses, x
Squared.
Minus 1x.
minus 1, and
X plus 5.
x plus 5.
Yep.
Because 5 times negative 1 would give me negative 5, right? And then negative 1 plus 5 would give me 4, right? Right? Okay. So then this all equals 0 still. So what do I set equal to 0 to figure out the answers?
X minus 2.
Wait, what happened?
Yes,
And
then
then
you
you
also
also
do
choose
it.
1 and x plus 5.
So I set x minus 1 equal to 0.
X plus 5 and then 2x.
X equals,
Are you okay?
can you stick with me? X equals 1. x plus 5 equals 0, so x equals negative 5. And then what's the last one? 2x, because it does have an x with it, so it equals 0. So what does x equal there?
0.
0. Bryce, did you have a question? Called factoring by grouping. So it's kind of what we've already done, where we split them into groups, right? So on A, if I had to split into groups, what do you think you would group together? X to the third with
X to the third.
3x squared. Let's just start there. Okay, so if I split that in half, what is the greatest common factor between those two?
X to the second.
X to the second. So I would be left with,
X plus 3.
and then over here, what would I have?
2. It's the same thing.
So I would get what?
X plus 3.
Oh, it's just the low
X
divided.
plus 2 and X plus 3.
Okay, so please stop yelling, because there are kids that actually watch this, so stop, yes. So so my parentheses is x plus 3, right? And then this one, it's x squared minus, or plus 2, okay? If I was to get a parentheses where I could again factor out, I would again factor out, but can I factor out x squared plus 2? No. So then this would just be your answer. It says to factor, so am I setting it equal to 0?
No.
No. Okay? Now this one looks a little different. What do you think we would group together on this one?
I mean, definitely
X
X
and
and
X.
X squared with what?
X.
X, yep. So plus x. And then we would group y plus xy, right? Because then they actually have like terms.
So
So you can move them around. What property allows you to move them? Commutative, okay?
So it's addition.
But what happens if one of them is negative?
So you can write it as plus and negative and then move it.
Oh.
Okay? So what would be your greatest common factor here?
X.
X, and you'd be left with,
X plus 1.
what's your greatest common factor here?
Y.
So y, and then you'd be left with,
X plus 1.
you'd be left with 1 plus x. Is x plus 1 the same as 1 plus x? Okay. Commutative property. So I would have x plus 1 and,
X plus Y.
can any of those parentheses be factored further?
Nope.
So that is your answer.
wait, what did you just? Never mind.